Hello. Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Allen Henry. And today I'm gonna talk about the A24 film that bombed back in June. And honestly, lately a lot of their movies have been bombing, or at least half of them. So far I'm aware The Invite is doing well at the theater. The Drama that came out earlier this year is actually one of the best movies that came out this year. It's actually probably one of my top five movies of the year. And you got movies that have been taking. Eddington bombed last year. Um, Ari Aster had two bombs with, Beau's Afraid. Anne Hathaway film, is it Mother Mary? Bombed. And then now you had this film, The Death of Robin Hood. Now, I didn't see the previous Mother Mary, and I didn't have no interest in watching it, but I did have an interest in watching this film starring Hugh Jackman, who also produced the film, directed by Michael Sarnowski, who directed Pig, I believe, which was a good film, and he did I think the one of the recent A Quiet Place. I think he did the prequel. I like his approach on some of these some of these movies he's done. So this was like the second film I've seen of his work. I've seen Pig and I've seen this. And this movie was actually kind of hyped up quite a bit that A24 was doing a Robin Hood, and then Hugh Jackman's playing the role. Um, and I've seen it and saw it at the theater. And the theater that I went to actually had a lot of people. It reminded me of my experience of watching Lamb, which I think that film is also underrated. I'll talk about that in another video, but basically what the story is you have an aging Robin Hood who gets wounded, and he meets a child that he had encounters previously, and a nun who nurses him back to health while he's trying to regain his health back at this purgatory. Um, During he gets up at this purgatory, and that's kind of really what the story is. It's more more of the best way I could really describe this film is it's literally Logan, X-Men's Logan from the 2017 film. And I mentioned that on Letterboxd. This is basically Logan, but in the form of Robin Hood, because there's beats of Logan, not necessarily, but it's the same pattern of how Logan plays out, where this character is more of an, I guess, a-hole, but it takes the character of Robin Hood and deconstructs the hero into what if, over time he's become bitter, he's tired of of his lore, and he just gone around and just become a bandit, you know, just hurting people, and and over time he's got sick of it, he's tired of it, basically wishing for death. So the movie starts off with him meeting this girl who actually has become aware of his reputation and tries to murder Robin Hood, but he gets the upper hand and he pretty much brutalizes her. And the film chronicles him. I don't remember his partner in the Robin Hood lore, but he meets his friend, his ally, who's also corrupted, not a good person, who helps him out, and a foster family that he's caring for, not necessarily like a step family he's caring for, and things technically kind of go south with that. There's some cause and effects of what happens with that, where It sets also a chain reaction of people coming after him and his friend later on in the movie, most particularly Robin Hood, and then he survives the encounter, and then he pretty much rests up at this nursing facility where he pretty much tries to reflect on his life, reflect on the things he's done, and trying to find some way to atone his actions. The movie really starts off really strong. It really hooks you in for the first 30 minutes, and the movie slows down into a character drama. And it's kind of interesting how they market this movie. They didn't mark the story because they knew they had something that was completely different. Basically a deconstruction of the character, and I understand there is this. To me, it's a little more realistic of seeing a flawed hero, but other than that, I think it also discourages people who wants to look up something, at least an idea of a hero that is beyond reality, that is strong, that is doesn't have any flaws, like Christ. Um, to really motivate to be that kind of person and to see a unique take. And I can see, this might throw people off because you're watching a character that is so vulgar, not motivational, very dark and gritty, depressing and bitter, murders people in cold blood, if need be, innocent people in cold blood that he has to. Yeah, that's a very interesting and take on Robin Hood that not a lot of people are gonna appreciate at all. I like the film, but to be honest with you, when the film started off strong and then it slowly kind of when it slowed down to be more of this meditative character drama of him trying to find the light again, which was interesting. I just wish the film didn't go that route, at least that way, where it slowed down and focus on this character trying to rebuild his, trying to find some sort of redemption, but he wants it through death because he's tired of all his. He's just tired of life. He's tired of living. Kind of like what they did with Logan. That's what this film is. It played the same kind of story arc for Logan, and the movie kind of paralleled that, at least for me, where um, Robin Hood does try to be around the environment. He tries to help people, tries to inspire hope in Bill Skarsgård's daughter. I don't remember the character's name. It might have been. I don't remember the name, but he helps her out and tries to um, help raise her when the father is gone. And the nun, played by Jodie Comer, she is a nun that basically has needs that are being met, so she's trying to resist the flesh in a sense, and she's trying to, behave. Her character was interesting. There were parts in the film that were a little bit interesting to kind of see with her character. So she's struggling with her issues there, and then it is interesting to kind of see where Hugh Jackman took this character, but it reminds me so much of Logan that it was just a Logan, but as a form of a Robin Hood movie with action in the first 30 minutes. Cinematography in this movie also looks beautiful. Like it's just like I would say this movie deserves a cinematography nomination. But that was the thing, man. It's just it. I didn't like the slowdown with this movie, and I think I'm struggling to. I think the movie was okay for me. I think it was okay. Uh, it is interesting to kind of see this take of Robin Hood, where he has finally found peace in this kind of realm living in. Um, and then he does this thing, or the nurse does this thing to kind of help relieve blood pressure, where he it taps on the wrist and then blood comes out. And there's this. Honestly, the ending's kind of funny to me. The ending could be like a spoof. Um, and it's where and this is spoil the movie because the title literally tells you the death of Rob. You think it's like metaphorically, like he's gonna be done, but uh, no, like the movie really chronicles him finding peace, taking a break from living on survival mode, kind of like slowing down, um, re encountering some of the victims he met, uh, more particularly with the boy, and the boy recognized him, and then he instantly recognized Robin Hood instantly recognized the boy, and he told him like, "Man, you better get out of here. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, start something with you. Like, but if you, the longer you stay here, I really will kill you." so, so that character ends up leaving, and then there's a moment in the film where uh, the nun really, or nurse nun, she really wanted to kind of have a relationship with Robin Hood, but here's the thing: she does not know his identity throughout the whole time that he's met her until he reveals it near the end of the film because of his reputation of him being such a cold-blooded killer in time. It does spark their relationship to dysfunction, kind of like near in the film. But then he pleads her to perform that procedure again, but this time they'll stop it where she's plucking like a needle into his wrist, and blood just oozes out. And then later in the final scene, he requests that of him of her, but also the girl, the his friend's child, his bandit's friend's child that he cares for. He promised her to learn how to tie a bow and then to learn how to shoot it. So he literally teaches her how to shoot a bow while he's giving his last moments to teach her while he's bleeding out slowly to death, and then the movie literally ends him dying at that moment where she learns how to flick that bow, and the movie ends on his face. I thought that was a bold ending. This is better than the Ridley Scott Robin Hood that came out 2010, 16 years ago. Way better because there was something interesting about the character and the take that they did with Robin Hood. I still have not seen the Disney Robin Hood. I was fascinated with this take of Robin Hood, but I wasn't thrilled about the way they chose to tell the story because the formula felt too familiar to Logan, and it felt familiar to another movie where it's the kind of structure where they hook you in the first 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes of like action and set pieces and all that, and the movie slows down. into a complete drama. And that was something I wasn't really thrilled about. And I think the film's reaction with audiences to see another deconstruction of a hero, it was cool for a while. And I like deconstruction. But if you do it every hero, there's nothing inspirational about it anymore. There's nothing. Like they did it with Superman, Man of Steel. That was cool. And I like that way that Zack Snyder deconstructed that character with this film, Robin Hood. I could see why the film bombed the way that it did. Um, you know, and I think word of mouth really hurt the film. When I saw it, it was like almost like there was a lot of people that never seen this movie, but then to know that the movie was a $20 million movie and it only made back around 8 to 7 or $8 million is not good, especially from a high budget film like that. I mean, it's not high budget, but that's high for an independent film, and then to see that the return was that low was shocking. But would I watch this film again? Maybe. I did like the direction of where they were going with this movie, and there were some moments I liked. I really liked that fight scene that was in the beginning of the movie. Like it was gritty. Like I wish they stuck with that. Like I wanted, to be honest with you, I wanted like a Northman style Robin Hood. If this was what they were going for, if this was what they were going for, that was my anticipation of this movie, Northman style film of Robin Hood. And if this was the take that they were going, I would wanted to see him regain his humanity again, adventure like way to regain that. Kind of if that was the approach that they were going for with this movie, with paying tributes to Logan. But to slow it down into a character drama was uneventful for me. It was interesting, but it was uneventful. It also reminded me of Soronitsky's Pig. It hooks you, and then the movie does slow down into a meditative. And the Pig was good. I like Pig better than this movie. But this movie was better, even though Ridley Scott's Robin Hood has action, and it's 2.5 hours. It was so boring. There was really nothing unique about that movie at all. But this year, there was something unique and interesting about Robin Hood and why this character the way that he was. So it was interesting to kind of see they took that spin and really made some changes to it that I was on board for to kind of see where that was going. A risky move, and I applaud it. But I wanted to see that character become the Robin Hood that we know in the tales, and I wanted to see him come to that light through a journey, well, internally, but also with adventure, action, exciting. And then the marketing tried, and I get it. The marketing, they tried to market in a way to where it was like a thriller. And this is a thriller. I found it to be a nice experiment. Well, yeah, it's not going to be for everybody. Like I said, even Letterboxd I mentioned, it's like Logan, but more drama, so built. So that's what I thought about it. Comment section below what you guys thought about the death of Robin Hood. And, yeah, did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you thought the movie was just boring? Yeah, just let me know in the comment sections. I mean, you got movies trying to do both things, but sometimes I think maybe they're just doing it with the wrong approach.
That's right. Go on, girl. Just go on, put the little needle. Go. Go on, let that blood drip. Just don't look at it. It's house. Tied it. Pull back. Don't pull back. Pull back now. All right, when I count to 3, 2,